maybe I'm wrong, but because you're asking me, I'm trying to share my 2 paisa, my 2 cent. Money is not the aim of our life, but it is a fact that money is really needed. Now tomorrow, for example, and I'm saying this with no offense to anybody, tomorrow if we have problems, we cannot expect a temple to maintain us. Let's say, for example, tomorrow we have an accident or we have some physical ailment. Temple has bigger things to do. Temple has bigger things to do. And where will we stay? We don't want to lead a life at the mercy of anybody else. किन्हीं और के घर में रह लिया, कहीं मंदिर में रह लिया, कोई आश्रम में रह लिया. We don't know how the future will be. So, the more stable path, and since Mataji, you're in a female body, I want to add one more angle to this. Let's say tomorrow you get married, right? And your husband is Krishna conscious, hardworking, supporting, brings in money, right? So then you're secured. He's a good husband, he's chaste, he's hardworking, he takes care of you, and he's devotional. So then you're protected. But let's say tomorrow, and I'm saying this, knock on the wood, touch wood, if you get into a marriage where the husband is not favorable, right? Husband is not favorable. He doesn't practice bhakti, but doesn't stop you from practice bhakti. You can perform bhakti, but he will not perform bhakti. Or a husband who will not practice bhakti and who will not let you practice bhakti. At such circumstances, you don't know how the future will be. So it is best, since you're getting yourself educated, and since parents have put money in, invested money, their hard-earned money in you, my opinion is, it is best to study well. I myself went through bachelor's, 2 masters. So it is not that I gave up education or gave up this, gave up that. Now also I have a full-time job. When I'm doing Harikatha, that is not my job, that is just my seva. Because I'm a grihastha, I'm married, I have a wife, we have bills to pay, we have grocery, we have mortgage, we have to pay for our car, we have to pay for so many, like light, Wi-Fi, right? Water bill, so many things. Where will money come from? So we have to work. Stability means you study well, keep your parents proud and happy, get a good job, keep that money in your account, put it for investment, etc., and keep working. Now, if the future is favorable and your husband says, you don't have to worry, you take care of the children, I will maintain, then you don't have to worry. Because he will bring you the security and still you have some money in your account. Why I'm saying this? Tomorrow, if your parents fall ill and they're old, and let's say they don't have a son, they only have a daughter, let's say, then you should not have the hesitation to ask my husband for money to send my parents. You can just tell him I have some savings in my account which I have from my job. And with that, bejijak, without any problem, you can use that money. One, if you have to go for a yatra, let's say your husband is not Krishna conscious but doesn't have a problem in you practicing bhakti, then you can say, don't worry, it will not be a financial strain on you. There is some money in the account, I can use that. I have to send some money to my father or my mother, they're not keeping well. Again, it's not a strain on your husband. You can, as a woman, as a daughter, as a wife, as a devotee, you can stand on your own feet with no hesitation. It's another thing, let's say if you have a loving husband, he may say, no, you don't use that money, you don't worry. I'll give you, don't worry. That's wonderful. So both should offer both sides. Where the husband says, you don't worry, I will take care. And the wife says, no, you don't take the strain, I have some savings, I will take care. So my recommendation would be, instead of getting into a temple or doing anything like that, and later realizing, let's say you get into a temple to stay and serve there, and as a woman, and after about 5-10 years you realize, no, I'm not comfortable here. Let's say you don't get along with the management, you don't get along with people around, and you want to change, you want to come out. Where will you go? Nobody will take you in a job because you lost work experience. And you have no money, and parents are getting old, and they will start looking for a boy, and the boy would want to marry a girl who is well settled, right? So it brings a lot of confusion in the life of a girl. So my simple recommendation would be study hard, get a job, make the money, get married, be with your husband, children, stable grihastha life, and while doing all of these things, continue to practice bhakti. Because if you give up everything to exclusively perform bhakti, our mind is not at that level of purity that it will be absorbed all day and night. If you sit to chant Hare Krishna, you'll see how the mind goes everywhere. So best thing, stable thing, Bhagavatam says, when you take steps, take one step, and then remove your feet, next feet, and then step. If you take both feet, then you'll fall. So take one step, keep your material life going, and keep your spiritual life going. So let both feet keep moving. Don't jump out of the material boat and both feet on the spiritual and then fall because of lack of taste and lack of balance. Okay? So one thing at a time. You perform your material duties, and along with that, take some time out to chant Hare Krishna, and as we said today, offer all your material duties and responsibilities also as service, you will attain Krishna. There is no problem. Chodo garba chalo Haridwar ki avashyakta nahi. You can create Haridwar in your home. You can create Vrindavan in your home, while being a grihastha, while being a mother. If Draupadi could, if Gandhari could, if Kunti Devi could, why Mataji in the present generation cannot? They will be. Definitely Krishna will protect. Male, female is not a inequality. Grihastha, sannyasi is not an inequality. Living in the temple, living at home is not an inequality. Everything is equal in the sense, the opportunity one has is there. Nobody will take your bead bag away from you. Nobody will take Bhagavatam away from you. So while being Sthani Sthita Shruti Gatanta Nuvatmanovi, take responsible steps. Okay? We'll take one last question. Other questions we can roll it over on